James Harden averaging 32.5 points in 2 losses against the Bucks this year. He averages, remember, over 36 points a game this season. It would be the second highest mark by an MVP winner behind only Wilt Chamberlain in 1960. So for the first of many times this morning, let's take it out here to the table. MVP was a big topic here yesterday. I don't have a vote. I voted for Harden. You do have a vote. You told me it's Harden. Uncle Seth, who's the MVP of the league, and what did last night do in that race?
Last night did absolutely nothing. I really don't care about last night. It's your body of work. The MVP isn't one game. It's not a one-on-one contest. It's your season, and it's real simple. You can have your analytics. You can have your win share. You can have your offensive efficiency, your defensive efficiency. It's real simple to me. You take what Harden did. You take Chris Paul off the team. You take Capella off the team. You put your team in a position where they don't have a chance to make the playoffs. And what does he do? He takes over the whole franchise. What he's done and what he did this year, there's not another player in the league that could have done that, including LeBron James. He couldn't have taken that team and won, including Giannis. He couldn't have taken that team in that moment in time and won. That's why he's the MVP. Forget about the analytics. It's real. It's wins and losses and what he did with that team that he was dealt with.
At this point, I do believe, like Coach, that Harden deserves the NBA MVP. And it's what I consider Heisman Trophy moments. Those wow factor games where he's putting up 60. He's scoring 50, multiple 40-point games. Had a 30-point streak of 30 straight games. At that time, when the streak started, his team was 10th in the Western Conference. They moved up to 3. They're going to be between 3 and 5. They're in a tougher conference, as I mentioned, where you play 50 games versus that competition, versus the East. And when you talk about MVP, everyone, please stop saying best player on best team. That's a lazy argument. If that was the case, Michael Jordan would have won every year. If that's the case, somebody on the Golden State Warriors would win every year. You have to go by the body of work. James Harden has a slight edge over Giannis.
All right, so we're all at this table at least in agreement that James Harden should win this MVP award. Your team, the Bucks, I know you feel good about him. Do you have more confidence in him in the playoffs after seeing them beat the Rockets like they did in this game?
I have more confidence in what Giannis can bring to the table and Bledsoe's effectiveness. But people underestimate how much they're going to miss Malcolm Brogdon. Here's a guy that shoots 50 from the floor, 40 from 3, 90 from the free throw line. He does all of the dirty work and unlocks their game, so to speak, from the backcourt. Home court is going to be a great advantage for the Bucks. I do think they're going to go and be really competitive in the playoffs, but I just don't believe they're going to represent the East in the NBA Finals.
Well, and so you and BPI disagree strongly. Everyone look at what Hembo just posted on the screen. The Milwaukee Bucks, according to our analytics, our geeks, say they have a 45% chance of winning the championship. Golden State is next at 16. Seth Greenberg, are you buying?
I'm not buying it, and I agree with you. I think losing Malcolm Brogdon is huge, and now losing Dante DiVincenzo is huge. So now all of a sudden their backcourt in terms of depth is depleted. And character, toughness, winning players, like you look at Malcolm Brogdon, all he does is help your team win. You need one of those guys in the playoffs when the games are a little bit tighter, the pace of play is a little bit slower. He's a difference maker. I think that they have a real problem in the playoffs because of their lack of depth in the backcourt.
And also, everyone, don't take it as shade to the Bucks or hate that I don't think they're going to win the East. That's how this process works. We see you put in work during the regular season. We have not seen it with this collection in the playoffs. This is their chance to prove everybody wrong, including me.
And that they will do. There's no question. And
your
they will
team.
Remember everyone. I'm telling you, I adopted Milwaukee just because no one buys into them.
I like that. And you know, that's a great way of saying don't at me on Twitter.
Yeah, don't
you
at
just
me.
Basically laid it out, said don't at me. I understand that the playoffs are different. I like that. I need to adopt that.